Hey everyone, welcome back to Blue Sky Flips. My name is Nick, your local Calgary eBay reseller. I find items at yard sales, thrift stores, and my Amazon bin store to flip on eBay for a profit. It's been a while since my last video, as I've actually been on vacation for my annual Karate Master Camp retreat in Pennsylvania. So I put my eBay store into vacation mode. I was bracing for total silence, like zero sales. A whole week without my phone making that beautiful, addicting cha-ching sound. But instead, the exact opposite happened. When I got home, my phone started blowing up, sale after sale after sale. And I don't mean to trickle, this was a flood. It actually made no sense. In the past, when I've gone on vacation, eBay has really held back my sales. The algorithm makes it so you don't get very much sales, but this time I did. It just didn't make any sense at all. This month, I sold 11 items, with one item flipping for an eye-watering 52 times. As always, I'll start with my smallest flip and work my way up to my biggest flip. So be sure to watch to the end to find out what that was. Our first item is this TP-Link AC 1900 Wi-Fi range extender device. You plug this around your house and you can actually make your Wi-Fi so it extends to a farther region of your house. Now, I bought this for $20 at my Amazon bin store. It sold for $28, but it took 8 months to sell. I paid a bit too much for this item, so it was hard to make margin and get it to sell. I had to lower the price to get it to sell. This was only a 1.4 times flip for a net profit of $3. I know I didn't make very much, but I'm really glad to see it go. This was actually before I had my triple flip rule on items I buy to resell. So I'm always looking to try and sell an item for 3 times the cost that I purchased it for. The next item that sold is this Tymo Airflow 2-in-1 hair styler. Now, I bought this for $20 at a thrift store when I was on Vancouver Island, and it only sold for $30 plus shipping in 3 months. Now, this was a flip of 1.5 times and a net profit of $5. Normally, this was supposed to go for $40 to $50. When I looked it up, that's what the comps were showing me on eBay, but I was getting many lowball offers for this, especially on Facebook Marketplace. But I eventually took an offer for $30 on eBay to just at least get my buy cost back. I bought it long before I was doing my minimum triple flip rule. I generally have better luck with the Longe stylers, but I'll be more cautious with Tymo in the future. Our third item is this Bosch Tassimo T47 coffee machine with Tim Hortons coffee pods. Now, this machine was barely used. I got it at a yard sale and it came complete in the box. It had all the packing materials, the instruction books. It even had the cleaner discs, and these are a hot commodity. You really want to find a machine that has the cleaner discs inside it. It makes it a lot easier to sell, as people are often missing this. Well, I sold it for $80 in just 20 days. That was an 8 times flip and a net profit of $58. So I'm always on the lookout for these. Fourth item on the list is this West Bend The Poppery Hot Air Popcorn Maker. Now, I bought this for $5 at my local thrift store. It sold for $44 in just 10 days. However, what happened is I only charged them $16.87 for shipping based on the weight, and it actually cost me $46.42 to ship to a very rural part of Canada. So I actually got burned on this shipping. Luckily, they also bought my next item, so I shipped them together in the same parcel and pocketed the difference in the shipping to actually cover a bit of this. This was an 8 times flip, and because of the shipping, it was actually a net profit loss of $2. Now, for this product, I would add coffee roaster as a keyword to air poppers, because it actually gets them to sell better, because people will actually use them to roast their beans. Now, our fifth item that we sold this week is the Loop Quiet 2 Plus earplugs, new open box. I was so excited to find these for $1 at my local thrift store. They sold for $15 in 11 days. Now, I shipped these with the air popper because it was the same buyer, to try and save some on the shipping that I lost from that air popper. Now, this was a 15 times flip. I made a net profit of $18. So this profit really did make up for the loss on the popcorn maker. So we are still $16 ahead on this total order, so not too bad. It could have been way worse. Now, these Loop Quiet earplugs are actually a BOLO item right now, so always be on the lookout for these in your thrift stores or your Amazon bin store. It is a very popular Amazon product in our increasingly noisy world, so be on the lookout. The sixth item that sold this week is this RCA Smart TV Virtuoso Remote. That's a fun word to say. Now, I bought this for $2 in my eBay bulk buy of remotes, where I bought 50 remote controls. And I've just been gradually selling them off. They're trickling through. It's a really good, just bread and butter item to keep going through my store. Now, it sold for $20 in just 23 days. That is a 10 times flip for a net profit of $16. I'm almost already in the black with my bulk order of remotes, and it's been about a month, so soon it's just going to be all in the profit for the rest of my remotes, and I maybe have sold 5 of them and I still have 45 to go. Like, this is going to be great for profits. Our seventh item sold this week is the Panasonic DVD VCR Universal Remote. Now, I bought this for $2 as part of my eBay bulk buy of remotes, and it sold for $25 plus shipping in just 5 days. That's a 12 times flip for a net profit of $20. That's amazing. I'm doing so good on these remotes. I can't wait to sell more. So the eighth item that sold this week is this Ping G20 number 3 golf club head cover. Now, I bought this for $2 at a church sale, and it was actually really cheap because the church sale, we arrived quite late in the day, so they were actually doing clearance. So everything was just up for donation. They just really wanted to get rid of everything because they were going to donate it to Salvation Army at the end of the day, and it would be less for them to transport there. So I only paid $2 for it. It was actually on a golf club that was a cheap brand. I did not want that golf club at all. I didn't want to deal with it, but I really wanted the head cover. So I just sneakily took the head cover off. I knew that they would just sell me just the head cover, which is what I wanted. They did that. I listed it on eBay. It sold for $40 in just 8 days. That is a 20 times flip. I made a $34 profit on this head cover. These golf head covers are a bolo item. The 2 brands you want to look for are TaylorMade and Ping. Now we're starting to get into some of the big flips. So for item number 9, this is the Nikon FE 35mm SLR film camera with a case. Now, my buy cost is $5. I originally bought it at a yard sale for $10. However, I sold the lens separately. The lens was also $5, and I'm pretty sure it sold for like $60. So sometimes it's just better to part out the items that you buy, and you can extract a lot more value out of it. This camera sold for $100 plus shipping in just 1 month after listing it. That is a 20 times flip. I made a net profit of $74 on this camera. Nikon is a bolo brand for cameras, so always be on the lookout for Nikon cameras, Canon cameras, Olympus, and Minolta's not too bad. So those are the brands you really want to look for. Our 10th item that sold is this Braun food processor lid chute and pusher. Now, the buy cost of this was 50 cents. Now, that's because I bought the food processor at the church sale for just $2. And this sold for $17 plus shipping in just 4 days. That is a 34 times flip, a net profit of $10. Cuisinart and Braun food processors are bolo items for me. I'm always on the lookout for these. They sell very well. The key with these is, if in doubt, part it out. So you can part out the bowl, the chute, the slicer discs. You can part out the chopper blade. You can part out the motor machine. So that you can get like 5 items or 4 items out of these. They all sell for almost $20. So, and when you're only spending $5 on the one item and each item is selling for $20, you can make like $80, $100 out of these food processors. I love finding these. They're amazing. Here's our final item and our biggest flip of the week. Now, this is the Braun food processor work bowl. Now, I bought this for 50 cents. It was $2 for the whole food processor at that church sale. It sold for $26 plus shipping in just 10 days. That's a 52 times flip and a net profit of $10. That's almost like if you found 50 cents on the sidewalk outside and transformed it into enough for a meal out. That is what is addicting about reselling, is how you can extract insane value from otherwise abandoned products. This is why I love what I do. So here is the overview stats of the items I sold in this video. So I had a total cost of goods sold of $68, a gross sales of $425, and a net profit of $246. I flipped my cash by nearly 4 times. I'm so happy with my sales this week. I just do this in my spare time as a side hustle, so coming home from vacation to a $246 profit and flipping my cash by 4 times is golden. If you enjoy my Canadian reselling content and my weekly What Sold videos, I would appreciate it if you could gently push the like button. I don't want you to break it. Subscribe and ding the bell. Well, that's all for today, folks. I'll see you next time.